Yo, what is up? It is your boy Jababoy here. Now this is a disclaimer before I start this video, just informing you that this video is going to be different to how I usually do my videos, in that this video is going to be more serious and more just spreading awareness on the cause that is happening right now in our society. So if you're not into that and you're more into my usual uploads, then please click off this video and go watch some of my other content. So anyways, enough of that, let's head into the video. Hey guys, it's your boy Jababoy here, and today is going to be more of a serious discussion video, and basically it's going to be talking about this movement, this topic I should say, or this whatever it is that's been happening for the last few weeks, or should I say week and a bit now, that has started movements, like I said, has got people massively talking, from normal folks to even celebrities from all different sectors, whatever, and it is something that is brought back to life for all the wrong reasons. I'm of course talking about the tragic death of George Floyd, who was brutally murdered by a police officer in broad daylight in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So to begin the video, I will give you guys some backstories, and then you guys will know like exactly why this whole movement and this type of like Black Lives Matter is so much more powerful to this day right now. So this all started in May 25th, 2020, when the Minneapolis Police Department released a statement saying, and I've got it on my phone so I'll state it on here: on Monday evening, shortly after 8 p.m, officers from Minneapolis Police Department responded to a block in Chicago Avenue South on a report of forgery in progress. Officers advised that the suspect was sitting on top of a blue car and appeared to be under the influence. Two officers arrived and located the suspect, a man believed to be in his 40s, in his car. He was ordered to step out from his car. After he got out, he resisted officers. Officers were able to get the suspect into handcuffs and noted that he appeared to be suffering from mental distress. Officers called for an ambulance. He was transported to Hennepin County Medical Center by ambulance, where he died short time later. And yes, with the official death statement, and it says that the individual named Mr. Floyd, now we know George Floyd now, 46, a resident of St. Louis Park in Minneapolis suburb, was pronounced dead at 9:25 p.m. Monday at Hennepin County Medical Center, according to the medical examiner. So that was what sparked it initially. Now what followed was the most disgusting and the most inhuman act of behaviour, not only from a police officer, but from a human perspective, from a person. It is so unjust and downright disrespectful to everyone in society who believes in equality and believes in diversity throughout all races, sexualities, all sorts. So basically, before the main incident occurred, we saw security footage of a police pulling over to the suspect's car, which obviously was George Floyd's car. He was taken out of the car. He was in handcuffs. Two other people who were in the car, the passengers, were told to go to the side of the pavement. The suspect, George Floyd, was taken in handcuffs. He did not resist arrest at all. Looking from the security footage, he simply just walked over. The officers told him to sit on the wall, whilst also on the pavement as well. And then afterwards, he was taken to the place where we saw the incident occur. Now, the incident occurred, like I said, it was very horrific. It involved the police officer named Derek Chauvin. Basically, along with him and three other police officers who stood by when this happened, basically, he put his knee on George Floyd's neck. So possibly here, yeah, on this side of his neck whilst George Floyd was laying down on the floor, unarmed and unable to do too much, obviously because he was in handcuffs. Was pushed hard by Derek's knee, which basically happened for a good 9 minutes until medics arrived to take him to the medical centre. Now, when I saw the footage firsthand, for me, I was completely appalled by what I witnessed. You know, this was almost innocent man that was going about his day. He wasn't resisting any arrest. He wasn't, acting up or anything like that to the police. He was doing exactly what the police told him to do, to which point, when he was laid on the floor, the officer inhumanly put his knee onto his neck for not only 1 minute, for 2 minutes, for 3 minutes, for 4 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 6 minutes, for 7 minutes, for 8 minutes, but for a good 9 minutes. I mean, I honestly have no words. I generally don't. I was completely upset by this and by the injustice of the police department, because they were partly to blame for that. If they'd have come out and been truthful about it, said that they'd had terminated this guy, then possibly there may have been resolutions that could have been negotiated, but the facts, they didn't. And what we saw from that footage was just awful. Completely and utterly awful to watch. So obviously after that caused a major movement. Many peaceful protesters were happening all across not only Minnesota but also around America in general, and even now there's even more outside of America in places like here in the United Kingdom, Germany and even New Zealand. Like, this has got the world talking. But obviously those peaceful protesters were sadly interrupted by some very horrific riots that took place. I mean, it's not just in Minnesota, it was all across America eventually. It was huge, really huge. People loitering, people setting things ablaze. It was huge. It was massively violent. There were many police with riot gear and stuff like that trying to diffuse the situation when they know clear well that this whole thing that is going on will not stop unless the 4 police officers that were involved, including the 3 that were bystanding, watching on, were put to justice, arrested and sentenced. And it got so big and it got so huge that even the president himself tweeted out a couple of times. He was basically saying that this whole riot, what was going on in the movement towards George Floyd, was unjust, and that if it ever continued, that he would eventually get the National Guard to come and help out alongside the police department to help diffuse the riots that were going on all across America. My thoughts on that is that as much as you can do that, as much as you can bring National Guards and all that, all it's going to do is set off more violence in the city. I'm not saying I'm defending everyone who is doing all these illegal stuff like loitering and doing that type of stuff, because I think it's very wrong and does a disservice towards the tragedy that was George Floyd, because I believed he wouldn't wanted any of that. He probably would have wanted peaceful and effective protests that were legal and that were justified. So much justified, and it's not just a system that has been occurring in the US. It's even happening here. It's been happening in other countries. Like, this is a thing that needs to be resolved. It needs to be sorted. We do not want any more of this occurring. These police injustice, treating those completely differently, treating them like they're the worst of the worst when they're not. They probably did misdemeanors or something like that. So for that, I would say the loitering definitely is something that I'm not supportive of, but in terms of the movement itself, the justice for George Floyd, all of that, I definitely am supportive of that and definitely want justice. So whilst those were going on, the most dishonourable thing that the police could ever do in the wake of the George Floyd situation was that officers who were tasked to defuse the riots and to protect those who were just going about their thing, you know, trying to make sure that everyone was safe and all, basically did something that I would never see possible. They sent a load of police officers to protect the murderer that caused this all to occur. They sent all sorts of police protection outside of Eric Chavin's house, and for that, I'm on two sides about it. One, I can understand because of the fact that if there were no protection, he would get killed. He would instantly get killed. He would get decapitated by all of these protesters who felt really strongly against him, that they would just have completely and utterly decapitated him. So there is that. But at the same time, having the police department out there serving protection towards this murderer, this horrible murderer in Derek, is just horrible, really horrific, and shows pretty darn well that the police only care about those who wear the badge. And as of that, that's all the backstory we have so far regarding this situation. Now, as of right now, there have been more riots that have been going on so far, more injustice exemplified through many sources on social media, showing the continued police brutality of people who are different race, colour, whatever, you know, but particularly black people, of course, you know, as this was centred around that type of culture. There's even been a tragedy, unfortunately, an innocent man, a barbecue joint owner who had been working in Kentucky, who was shot down by two police officers as the police were trying to disperse the crowd who were rioting around that location in which this guy was murdered. Now, for me as well, like I said, rest in peace to him. This is awful. I mean, like I said, this rioting, what we're going through at the moment, this needs to stop, because too many innocent lives, whether it's police or rioters, whoever, are getting killed. They're getting killed for for something which shouldn't be the case. It should have been peaceful, active and effective. So for that to occur, horrible to hear right now. Even this new trend called Blackout Tuesday, which as I'm recording, it is happening today, where many media outlets or musical outlets are pressing pause for now with anything that they are doing to reflect and to figure out how to solve the current state that is happening, particularly in the black community. So now that's all sorted, I want to send a message to anyone out there, anyone who is being racist, treating people who are different unjustified. Please, 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 I urge you to be more respectful and treat everyone the way that you want to be treated, because in the end, everyone is human. Everyone, in whether it's black, white, Caucasian, any type of ethnicity or whatever, all have feelings, all are humans, all are individuals, and they have their own paths and their own journeys that they are trying to fulfill in their lives. And I feel with an injustice, it just says a lot about you in terms of your insecurities, and that you are not able to be culturally diverse and equal to everyone. For myself, I am equal to everyone. I treat everyone with as much respect and as much love as possible, no matter what colour, skin, race, religion, whatever that they have. I am totally respectful of that. Everyone is welcomed, and that should be the case in all society. We should not have this unfair mistreatment of racial thing. I thought we were past that ages ago, well after the Martin Luther King or the Nelson Mandela phase. I thought we were well past that. I thought this was 2020. I thought we were a lot smarter than this, but apparently that wasn't the case. So we need to do better. We need to inform people and make it clear that, and even to governments as well, make it clear that this is a planet that should be as equal and fair to everyone, regardless of race, religion, anything like that. Everyone is entitled to whatever they want to be, whatever they want to achieve, whoever they want to hang out with. It doesn't matter. They should be all welcomed, and they should be all loved. That's the thing. Yeah. Not only do Black Lives Matter, but also all lives matter. All life is as equal as everyone else's. And another thing as well that helps now that we are in 2020 is that now we have the opportunity, the access to film anything that is going on, even as simple as this phone right here. So having that opportunity to record and expose people for the disgusting disgrace they were when back then, when all of the bad mistreats, whatever, were going down, that wasn't really the case, and it was kind of hard to do so. But like I said, I'm thankful we now have technology helping us expose these terrible monsters that they are, and really just exposing the cold problems that have been happening deep down in society. So there's this quote that was mentioned by Will Smith, which is so relatable to the point that I'm making right now, and that is that racism is not getting worse, it's getting filmed. So you see what I mean? It is getting filmed now. These people, disgusting people who may not have been exposed, are now being exposed, or will be in the future, because of the single use of this mobile phone or even a camera like what I'm having right now. So it is a really helpful and vital tool for us to use beneficially to rid the earth of these horrific and horrible problems or issues, or even just significant people as well too. For those who have, just continue to do so. Continue, expose these people, because the more we expose these types of people or these types of issues or whatever, the more that people are going to realise that this is a more significant issue, and more of a movement and an uprising can occur based on the evidence that many have seen through sources like this. Yeah. And before I finish off this video, there have been many on social media who have stated that if you are silent about this issue, then you are part of the reason of the problems occurring. Now, hearing that, I can understand, but at the same time, you got to understand that there may not be people who are like that, who are staying silent. Maybe for those who are staying silent, don't want to say the wrong things that gets them into trouble, gets them into controversy or something like that. At the end of the day, it's their choice on whether they want to stand up and speak up about this issue, like I'm doing right now, or many other the influencers and celebrities are doing right now, or to even be silent. You know, at the end of the day, it's an individual's choice to do it, and for someone to judge them saying that, you know, they're part of the reason is completely unjustified. And like I said, for those who choose to stand up, speak up, really make your voices heard, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm making my voices heard. I am telling to the government or anybody who is listening right now to please be equal and give everyone, whoever they are, the respect and the love that they deserve. And to finish off this video, I have got a quote which I'm going to react to in a second, which is from one of the greatest equal rights activists of all time, Martin Luther King. One of the great inspirations for myself in society and how I go about life, to be honest. So basically it states, we may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. And that is very true. We may come from different origins and different locations, but in the end of the day, we're all human, we're all individuals, we're all seeking our dreams that we want to achieve in life. But during that journey, we must all be able to treat everyone with the utmost respect and love, pretty much treating those the way you want to be treated. And that applies to even the police and the government themselves from all across the world. We must be socially accepting of everyone, no matter what diverse differences they may have. We have to in order to bring peace and love to this earth. We must make sure that it is made clear by everyone. So that is my official take on the story, and yeah, equality for everyone. Thank you.